The reality of it is that Swayman, I think, got the Bruins to move pretty significantly. And I wonder,
$250,000.
yeah, well, but they weren't at $8 million. They weren't even at 7.8. Frank Saravalli said the max that they were at to that Cam Neely point was 7.8 million. But you remember they started the offseason at 6.5.
That's the Ryan Whitney rumor, right?
Right. And there were a few other people that sort of confirmed that. So and I get, you start several million apart and you work your way to the center or whatever. But Swayman, from all accounts, never really did. He was like, it's 8.5, guys. And so for him to only come down $250,000 and for Boston to finally go, you know what, screw it. I think both sides made a really good deal, and it makes me angry.
And they got a really good deal before he starts missing games that count. Like, I know Korpisalo is going to start the season. I don't think waiting a month or two was going to be good for his career.
I agree.
Like, it's not like Willie Nylander where he had a horrible year. After he held out. Like, with a goalie, I feel like it all happens very fast. And all of a sudden you're bad. And because you're bad, they're not playing you. And then how do you get it? How do you get it back? Right? It's difficult. It's a lot trickier. And they get it done before the revolt. Because it was starting. And didn't I call it?
Well, the fans were turning on him.
Things have been too good for too long in Boston, so people forget. But that fan base and media, Toronto's the only place where this happens. No, the media will turn on you. Tyler Seguin, Dougie Hamilton, Benoit Pouliot to a much, much, much smaller degree.
Yep.
Phil Kessel, holy shit. I know that's also very different because he got traded, whatever.
But he was holding out, meaning he wasn't holding out.
You saw that sign behind the bench, the take 64 or go.
He took 66.
He took 66.
And he didn't go.
How about you go? Right? They got it done at a reasonable number before things got out of hand negatively for both sides. It's perfect. It's annoyingly Boston. And I am Vince Vaughn in Anchorman with everything they do. I straight hate you, but God damn it, I respect you.
Yeah. Jesse, what are your thoughts on
No,
it?
I think it's one, an accurate deal. Like, he's exactly where he should be. He's
an accurate deal.
I
was like, did we get it wrong?
No, it's an accurate deal in that he's right where he should be in terms of goaltenders across the league. I believe, he's tied for fourth. It's Bobrovsky, Vasilevsky, Hellebuck, and then Sorokin has the same $8.25 million deal, and the carry price is X amount. It doesn't.
Shesterkin's gonna breeze by him in no time.
Shesterkin's a whole conversation that we can have. He's gonna deserve so much more than that. It's gonna be a little troubling for the Rangers in their cap situation.
I'm not worried about Shesterkin because as soon as Trouba's gone, there's his raise.
Yeah, but they got so many other bodies they need to sign.
That I would be worried about.
It's a little tricky with their cap. But Swayman fits right in where he should be. And he's going to live up, hopefully, to this contract. And for the Bruins going forward, it's going to be a spectacular deal because the cap's going to go up and he's going to outplay that value. So it's right in line where it should be. And I wonder if they look back on the last month and a half and if they say, like, we did a good thing by sending a message to the world into our locker room by making this public and realizing everybody's got to stand in line and Cam Neely and Don Sweeney are happy with what they did. Or if they say this 8.25 could have just been solved in July because this is the money they allocated throughout the summer for Swayman.
Yes.
It all
and
depends.
the fact that they wouldn't just come up to this earlier, I wonder if they're happy with how it played out.
They can't be.
But they
won. Cannot be happy.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think I think Swayman's probably okay with it, but I don't think Boston management. And remember, this Boston management group, despite their on ice personnel successes, has made some. And I don't want to bring it up, but you guys all know they made some bumbling idiot moves a couple of years ago when they were the first place team in the league. And I think they've
Bruce
done
Cassidy.
not
Fire room in his room.
They do some stuff on this in this management group that is like, hey guys, you're a really good team. You don't need to do it this way.
Yeah.
And I just feel like they can't be. To me, Jeremy Swayman wins. And they can't be. They got to be careful not to get in their own way. They make really smart decisions. But every year or so, you get this, fuck's going on in Boston with their management anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's why I'm like, it's very curious that you kind of built your cap around, hey, we're going to sign Swayman around $8 million. And then you go through this whole thing, and then you eventually land at 8.25.
When's the cap going to be $100 million?
Probably
4 years?
2-3 years. It's going to be 92.5 next year. Probably another 4 or 5 the next year, and then another 4 or 5, and then you're in.
And so he'll be making about 8% of the cap.
Great.
For your
Great
starting
deal.
goal. Yep.
Fabulous deal. Maybe they could just be a little more efficient in getting there. Is
Yeah.
what Jesse's saying.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like, I thought Alan on Agent Provocateur on Friday was brilliant.
Man, he was great.
In talking about how he talks through a player through this. And he says, if you're serious about this, we have to commit. Because if we get to the end of this thing and you're just like, oh, I'll just sign what they gave me, then you've lost it forever. Then that's how they're going to look at you, as this guy.
And you've lost it for everyone.
And you've lost it for everyone. You've lost it for the locker room. You lose a lot of respect there. But if you're serious, we'll go through this and we'll make it hard on people. So at the end of the day, when push came to shove and there were actual games that Jeremy Swayman was going to lose, the negotiations got serious and they solved everything. And it feels like it was always going to be there at this point. You know, it's what CJ talked about. When we get to this point where you're going to miss real games and things actually get serious, because if he signs in season, the contract becomes prorated.
Yes.
And the Boston Bruins don't have the salary cap to sign him to an $11 million cap hit in December.
That's why
and pay him
Nylander
that.
was the $10 million man,
Yeah.
even though he
Nylander
never was.
Them, because he never was.
Well,
So
I think Brett screwed Brett there.
They both fucked each other in the worst, put in the worst term. So things got serious and they got it done. You know, but get it serious earlier, guys.
Yeah, and this is where what I mean. I look.
It's over though.
Yeah, well,
It's over
no,
now,
but no,
and we move
guys.
forward.
It's over. But they still let a fucking podcast get in there.
We got so much
Chicklets
content out of
fucked
this.
them up. Like
You can't take that back from the universe.
No.
Everything that happened from September onward.
and so if
here's
I
the
am
thing.
Cam
Yes, you
Neely-
can. Yes, you can. And here's how you do it. Win.
yes,
Okay, I get
You
it.
win. No
But
one
the-
remembers
But the
anything.
processes, guys,
And if they
that
do
led
remember,
them
they don't
there
care.
are still there.
Yeah.
And if I'm Cam Neely and I'm responsible, and he has been, I'm going, guys. Let's take a second.
Let's not do this again.
How do we not do this?
Yeah.
You know, how do we not? Okay, so Bissonnette's on our shit, and Whitney's on our shit, or Elliot Friedman's on our shit, or Chris Johnson's on our shit, or whoever else you want to.
Jesse Blake.
Jesse Blake
Yeah.
is messing us up. What do we do next time? Let's sit down with the PR staff and ask them. And what's the PR person going to say? PR person's going to say, don't mention it. He's still not under contract. We're working towards it.
Yeah.
Next question. That's all they had to do.
I don't care when you sign Jeremy Swayman, just don't sign Mitchell Miller again.
Yeah, well, but this is my point, right? Is like just maybe listen to your PR staff because they do a pretty good job. And every time Bruins management doesn't, what happens? It explodes. And this is a team that has erased a lot of that because they've won. But I guarantee you, if the Bruins had not been as outrageously successful as they have been for the last half decade, well, we might be looking at that.
The world where the Bruins burn through their goodwill is currently a fantasy.
Oh, it could
One
never
that
happen.
I just can't.
Could never happen.
I can't picture.
We gotta also remember how the Amazon doc that's out now reminded me of how close the Bruins were to complete destruction in terms of their fan
serial
base
chokers.
and being chokers. So that goodwill thing can disappear real quick. They were going to become the first team ever to blow 3-1 leads in back-to-back playoff years, and they almost did it if it weren't for the Leafs, who were the king of choking. So I feel like there was.
I can't believe that wasn't quintuple overtime.
There was
Neither team should have scored. That game should still be going.
There was a moment there where they were teetering on the brink of destruction as an organization in terms of their reputation recently, because they had the best record ever in the regular season by any team in the history of hockey. They choked with a 3-1 lead. They're up against the Toronto Maple Leafs, the team that can't win shit ever, and they're about to choke away a 3-1 lead. This could have been a completely different offseason in terms of Bruins land. And then now,
but they happen to be playing the Leafs, so it's all good.
And then now they save everything and they're back here. So there are moments where this management group hasn't been all there, and I wonder if they look back on this and they regret it.
You know what I think it
they
is?
probably do.
It's a bunch of hard-headed dudes. I look at this
every
fucking
sports
guy.
thing comes down to. I don't think these gentlemen are being reasonable.
Yes, it's just like, you know
That's
what?
Every
I've
conversation.
made my decision. It's not rational. It's not realistic, and I'm fucking sticking to it. And at that point, it comes down to an ego play. And I don't doubt that these are nice people in real life. I don't doubt that they're great at their job. Look at the results. Because unlike in Toronto, it actually is a results-based business. People are like, oh, trust the process, trust the process.
No.
I've trusted the process for a decade now. Not seeing a lot of results from the process.
In most other markets, you need at least some success.
I would prefer Boston's process.
Yeah.
Even with the dysfunction, most of it.
Yeah.
The one thing I mentioned there I would not want. But I'm just saying, maybe, guys, if you're at an 11, sleep on it, come back to work at a 7. Do you know what I'm saying? Sometimes emotions get hot, and you're like, you know what? Instead of being the guy on the ice that I used to be, why don't I be leadership guy now, say nothing, and then go to sleep, and then wake up going, you know what? I feel refreshed, and I'm glad I didn't say anything yesterday. I'm glad I didn't tweet that, which you and I have had to learn. Jesse's never had that problem. I'm glad I didn't say that to my, to my friends or my partner or whatever. I'm glad I slept on that. I'm glad I took a day to cool off.
I'm glad I just thought of the hardest trophy in sports to win. I invented it just now.
What is it?
Because they say the Super Bowl is the hardest trophy in sports to win.
Stanley Cup.
But then you also hear the Stanley Cup is the hardest. No. There should be a trophy. Yeah. Best team in Boston.
Oh.
Dude. The Boston Bowl.
The Boston Bowl. It is the hardest damn thing.
Oh, the Patriots held that title for a while.
Yeah, but now the Celtics are reigning NBA champs, and the Patriots can go frig off.
Yeah, so same with the Red Sox.
Red Sox
frig off.
Fuck off. Yeah, they suck.
They're suck.
Yeah, you stink.
Does everybody under Fenway Sports suck right now? Like, because the Penguins suck.
Isn't Liverpool under?
Liverpool's okay. Oh, they're good.
There you go.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
I knew a soccer thing.
I'm not familiar with their portfolio.
There's been a lot of managerial changes at Fenway Sports and Entertainment. Something to keep an eye on. I just think